Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Mount & Blade Bannerlord, specifically the Eagle Rising Dawn of an Empire mod, and we're going to be doing the top 10 best wives according to how good of a trader they are. So we've done lots of videos like this on the channel before. Basically we're going to be going over all the available female spouses in the mod and showing you the top 10 best ones at leading a trade caravan for you. So if you want to find a wife in this game, this is how you do it. You go to your encyclopedia by clicking the N key, at least if you're on PC, then you click on Heroes, and then you sort it down. So we're looking for a wife, so she needs to be female. We need her to be alive, of course. We want her to be a lord or lady, because that's the occupation that allows us to marry them, and of course, not married, because if they're married, it does us no good. Then we can further narrow it by culture if we want, and the first one we're going to be looking at is the Imperium culture, and that is going to be Ira of the Cornelli, and so she takes our number 10 spot. So Ira starts the game at age 21, with a trade skill of 100, charm of 120, steward of 40, tactics of 100, leadership of 100, and her highest combat skill is 190, which she has in polearm, so pretty nice there. Honestly, all in all, she makes a really good trade leader, as do all of the people on this list. Ira is part of the Cornelli clan. Her mother is Raquelda, so the leader of the Southern Imperium. She has 4 traits: close-fisted, which is generosity -1, daring, which is valor 1, cruel, which is mercy -1, and impulsive, which is calculating -1. So not the best traits in the world, which, you know, helps her lose some room, but also not huge impact for a trader. The big ones here are obviously trade, which she has quite high comparatively at level 100, and of course the next one being tactics, because if you're leading a trade caravan, you do get into combat, and the higher their tactics skill is, the more likely they are to come out of that combat without just getting captured and losing all their goods. So Ira starts off with good armor and weapons, and decent enough combat stats and everything else, plus that nice high trade of 100 makes her a great wife to lead a trade caravan for you. So that's Ira, number 10. Let's move on to number 9. At number 9, we have Raquelda of the Sargetti, so a Dryatian wife who starts off the game at age 25 with a trade skill of 101, charm of 60, steward of 62, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill being level 1. So obviously not a great one here for combat and tactics, which are important, but she does start off with the ever so important 101 for trade. So a great wife for that regard. She is 25, so a little bit older. Her father is Belgier, obviously being part of the Sargetti clan, and she has 3 traits: close-fisted, which is generosity -1, cruel, which is mercy -1, and impulsive, which is calculating -1. I just find her to be a particularly effective wife as a trader, and she definitely will level up and do better as you provide her with better armor, weapons, and troops and such. So Raquelda takes the number 9 spot. Let's move on to number 8. At number 8, we've got another Dryatian spouse, Garda of the Tirageti. So another Dryadic one, like I said. This one's a little bit younger and just a little bit better in my opinion. So Garda starts the game at age 21 with a trade skill of 101, charm of 100, steward of 120, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill is 1. So again, not an impressive warrior, but she does make a pretty good trade caravan leader. She has 3 traits starting off: close-fisted, which is generosity -1, cautious, which is valor -1, and merciful, which is mercy 1. And she's part of the Tirageti clan, so the leader of that being Hekard. So yes, Garda is a pretty dang good trading spouse, and she takes the number 8 spot. At number 7, we have Chalia of the Sulpici, so a Imperium wife who starts the game at age 22 with a trade skill of 101, charm of 100, steward of 121, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill is level 1. So again, not an impressive warrior, but a good trader. She starts off the game with 4 traits, the first one being generous, so generosity 1, devious, which is honor -1, cruel, which is mercy -1, and calculating, which is calculating 1. She is part of the Sulpici clan, so Penton is her father. Makes an excellent spouse overall, nice and young. You can have lots of kids with her, as well as her leading a trade caravan for you. So I think Chalia makes a really good option, especially if you want an imperial wife to lead a trade caravan for you. So like I said, she takes the number 7 spot. Let's move on to number 6. And at number 6, we've got Acella of the Rakatai. So she is a Dryadic wife who starts the game at age 22 with a trade skill of 101, charm of 120, steward of 121, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill being 1. So again, not an impressive warrior. She starts off with a sword and a dress, which is personally not what I would send her out in a trade caravan. I'd get some mail or something on her to protect her a little bit, but she will obviously grow into the role. The important thing starting off is that she has a good trade skill, and it doesn't hurt that she knows how to ride a horse, because I like my trade caravans to be mounted and highly mobile. Her father is Ingilthur, and like I said, part of the Rakatai clan, and she starts off with just 1 trait, which is impulsive, or calculating -1. So not a huge negative impact, especially for leading a trade caravan. I guess the only thing that might be is if it pulls into her maybe getting into combat more often, which at her level, you know, maybe not the best thing in the world. But Acella is still a pretty good trading wife, and that's why she takes the number 6 spot. At number 5, we've got Withyoon of the Aquitani, a Batani spouse, who starts the game a little bit older at the age of 25. I say a little bit older because, you know, almost everyone else on this list is younger, but still perfectly young enough in the game to be a very, very good spouse. Plenty young to have children and all that sort of stuff. So nothing to worry about there. Like I said, she's part of the Aquitani clan. Her father is Mela. She starts the game at age 25 with a trade skill of 120, charm of 160, steward of 141, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill being level 1. So again, not a warrior, or at least not starting off, but I find that she grows into the role quite well, having married her multiple times in this mod myself. And of course, that nice high trade skill of 120 doesn't hurt at all. Very good stat there. So she starts out with 3 traits: generous, which is generosity 1, devious, which is honor -1, and calculating, which is calculating 1. So she's a, like I said, solid wife overall. I don't find her to be annoying or any problem. I mean, she has the reputation of being friendly but manipulative, so, you know, that's par for the course, I would say. But she does make a good trader and can grow into the role very, very well. So she takes number 5 spot. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have Yana of the Calradia clan, and she is a Saka wife who starts the game at age 22 with a trade skill of 120, charm of 60, steward of 142, tactics of 140, leadership of 140, and her highest combat skill is level 120, and she has that in polearms, one-handed, and two-handed. So, unlike many people on this list, she is a good warrior starting off, has tactical ability, starts with good armor and weapons, and good combat skills, but also a nice high trade skill, and as is also important, tactics for being a trader. So I find that Yana makes an extremely good wife for leading a trade caravan, as well as many other roles. Like I said, she's part of the Calradia clan, and her father is Bagai, and her mother is Mezui. She starts with 3 traits, which are daring, which is valor 1, cruel, which is mercy -1, and calculating, which is calculating 1. So obviously, she's going to be pretty much better than everyone else on this list so far, just because she's got that higher trade skill, which is why she ranks higher here, but she's also better at everything else. She's got a nice high tactics skill, good combat skills, good armor, all that sort of stuff is going to give her a leg up. So that's Yana, who takes the number 4 spot. Let's move on to number 3. At number 3, we have a Dryadic spouse, who is Lyanna of the Ordisi clan, and she starts the game, I should say, at age 24 with a trade skill of 120, charm of 80, steward of 142, tactics of 160, leadership of 160, and her highest combat skill is 180, and she has that in 3 skills, which are polearm, one-handed, and two-handed. And of course, the rest of her combat skills are nothing to cough at either. So like I said, she's part of the Ordisi clan in the Dryadic Empire, or Kingdom, or whatever you want to call it. Her father is Aldrich, and she has 4 stats, or 4 traits starting off: generous, so generosity 1, honest, so honor 1, daring, which is valor 1, and merciful, which is mercy 1. She also starts off with good armor and weapons, so across the board, she's just going to be the best one so far. Like Yana of the Calradia, a huge step up from everyone else on this list. She has that nice high skill in trade of 120, but she also has a high tactical ability of 160, which gives her the edge over Yana, as well as her personal combat skills also being higher. So everything that Yana does, Lyanna does it a little bit better. Plus, no negative traits, and she's, of course, the bae of all of the Dryadic stands in the game. So Lyanna is an excellent spouse. She takes the number 1 spot overall in the game, in my opinion, but for the trader rank, she takes the number 3 spot. So let's move on to number 2. And at number 2, we have another Saka spouse, who is Mela of the Oburit clan. So she starts the game at age 22, so a little bit younger than Lyanna. She has a trade skill of 122, so a slight advantage there, but she has a charm skill of 80, steward of 142, tactics of 80, leadership of 80, and combat of 105, and she has that in the bow. And so since she's a Saka spouse and she's good at riding horses and using a bow, I recommend a mounted archer role for her. Like I said, she's part of the Oburit clan, so Gasukan is her father, and she has 2 traits starting off: close-fisted, which is generosity -1, and honest, which is honor 1. Mela just has that slight trait advantage. Some people might say that the 2 extra levels in that aren't worth putting her above Lyanna, considering the rest of Lyanna's levels are all higher, but I do find Mela to be an excellent trade wife, and if I'm going just by the ranks, it does edge her out above it, because trade is the single most important stat for a trader wife. So that's why she takes this spot, but she does also do a really good job at it, and like I said, has good combat skills, has good armor, has good weapons, definitely makes an excellent trading spouse. So Mela takes the number 2 spot. Let's move on to number 1. And at number 1, we have Sora of the Tarpai, a Imperium spouse who starts the game at a nice young age of 21, with a trade skill of 140, giving her the highest trade skill of any wife available in the game, a charm skill of 60, a steward skill of 162, which is also the highest skill for any wife in the game, tactics of 0, leadership of 0, and her highest combat skill is level 1. So again, not a warrior, not a commander, doesn't start off with good armor or weapons, but she does start off with the highest trade skill out of any wife available in the game. So if you're going for a trader, it makes sense to go with her. She is part of the Tarpai clan, so Manteos is her father. She has the traits of close-fisted, which is generosity -1, honest, which is honor 1, and merciful, which is mercy 1. All in all, Sora makes a really good wife. She's nice and young, so you can have lots of kids with her, but for this list specifically, she has a nice high trade skill and makes a good trading spouse. So that is all 10 of our top 10 best trader wives for the Eagle Rising mod. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful, but that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.